Hey, hello, what's up, guys? It's me again. I came back to my YouTube video, and today let me talk about something in English again, right? And today, what I want to talk about is that, and I like that title with this video states. I think in learning English is easy. English is very easy, but at the same time, on the other hand, a lot of times I think that English is very difficult. English is very difficult to learn. And then I just don't know. I just don't know how to improve my English. And sometimes I feel this way. So it's maybe that's the reason I feel this way is that maybe because that's the way I learn English. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Because I learned English. Well, actually, I think there's two types of English learners. And then the first type is the one who try to learn English through immersion, right? And then I think they call it immersion method, and that's how I learned English. And then, with this method, like myself, I never try to learn English grammar. I never try to I never translate, in my head when I speak in English, because, when I speak in English, I always speak in that, on that reflex activity of my brain. It's only in a reflex of my brain when I speak in English. So I actually, the way I learn English is, kind of like similar to that way that the native speakers, learn English, right? And then that's only the difference between the two is that the time they spend on that exposure for English language. And then because they since they are born, they started to expose themselves to the English language, right? They all their life they lived in the English environment. But like English learners like myself, we usually just start to try to learn English when after we grown up, right? So the time we spend is for the exposure to the English language is totally different. That's the big difference. But anyway, as I said, I usually speak by the reflex, so every time I speak, usually, and especially when I was in a relaxed mode, like such as when I was talking with my friend, I always speak relax on the reflex, or every time I speak in English, it's usually I am speaking reflexively, without thinking, without thoughts, much thought on my head. I just speak, and it's very natural for me to just English comes out without thinking. And then I could say that maybe that I am speaking unconsciously on a reflex, right? So that's how I usually speak. And then that's the reason I speak this way in English is because the way I learned English. So yes, that's the way it is, and then that's the first part I want to explain this, and then, yes, as I said, I usually speak this way. But, since I started working for this company, and then since I started talking to people, our customers in English, I have this responsibility, right? I have to, better serve our customers. And then once I have this, responsibility, I kind of like try to tend to think, maybe worry too much about things, because I don't want to make any mistakes, or I just want to better serve our customers. And then I'm just trying, I always trying to real hard to better serve our customers. So I tend to worry too much, right? And then if I worry too much, I just start to think too much in my head. And then once I try to think hard in my head, the reflex of my brain, just slow down. And because, as I said earlier, when I speak in English, I basically speak, reflexively, and without reflex of my brain to the world or to the thing that's in front of me, or anything, whatever it is, it's, if my reflex, slow down, I just cannot speak, and because that's how whole my life. Well, at least after I started learning English, using this method, immersion method. Every time when I speak in English, I just speak in reflexively. So I'm not get used to, thinking, while I'm speaking, and then once I start speaking, thinking too much, and then I start to worry too much, and then I got nervous, and then in my brain is just working, in a full swing, worrying about thinking about too much, and then once it happens, my brain just don't start start this start to stop this reflex activity, and then once it happens, I just can't speak English, right? So the reason, I talked about it on this on my previous video, but I'm not good at this, good at talking in front of the camera, because I tend to think too much in my head, because this is my video, and I'm trying, I am always trying to make a better video, so naturally I start thinking too much in my head, worrying too much in my head, and then because of that, my reflex of my brain is just slow down. That is why I am not good at speaking in front of the camera, and because I just can't speak in English at my best while I'm shooting a video, right? So that's basically that's the reason why I feel that English is sometimes before, like when I talking with my friend, or just teaching each other with my friends, or if I just can speak in a relaxed mode, I have no trouble. I don't think that I feel like that I can speak English pretty well, and then that's when I can feel that way, I feel that English is easy. But like I explained earlier, when I was worrying too much, thinking too much in my head, then I just can't speak English very well, and then that's and then once I feel that way, I always think that maybe English is very difficult. English is a very difficult language to learn. That's that's the feeling that I feel. That's a feeling I am having these days. Because I think that maybe that I started working for this company, and I have this responsibility, and then but even though that I think that still I should keep on doing this, because it's very difficult for me, but it's challenging, but now I have to get over this problem, and then I just only option I have is that just keep on trying to get over with this problem, and then maybe that I could try to expose myself to English more and more, and then I think things goes for the better, I think. And then yes, that's well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my YouTube video again, and then I'm gonna see you on the next video. Okay, until then, bye.